Hello, welcome to the Blind Valley Dev Support Stream. I'm Jeff, I'm the creator of blindvalley.com, and I'm here to answer any questions we have from Blind Valley users coming over from the website. Blind Valley is an application for managing live poker tournaments when you play in real life with cards and chips and friends, and it helps you manage the tournament, seat players at tables, and so forth, and manage the blind structure. And I'm using the stream to answer questions from the users, or if there's no questions, then continue working on my dev work, adding new features and so forth. Sometimes we'll take requests and add features live. We've done in the past, but right now today I'm gonna be working on a bit of the stream tools. I've been playing around with a little interface in chat to make an interactive game in the chat. So if you put in the command !deal, it'll deal you cards. And then every 10 minutes, you can see the countdown on the overlay. Every 10 minutes, there'll be a flop, turn, and river dealt, and we'll see who has the best hand. So we'll see. I've got a 5 deuce of spades. Not great. I've had better. It's no Jack 9 of hearts, I'll tell you that. So right now I've been working on actually this overlay, the overlay that shows the countdown, that has pop-ups for events from the actual Blind Valley website. So we have like this player was eliminated in Yokohama, Japan. That means that there's a real tournament going on. People are playing cards in Yokohama, Japan, using Blind Valley to manage their tournament. And a new player just registered for the tournament in Japan. So that's what those pop-ups are. And then we also have pop-up for new followers at the moment. We don't have pop-ups for new subscribers because we're not the approved Twitch partner affiliate yet. So, but we'll get there. And so I'm gonna be working just on this little overlay that I built. It's built with Vue.js. It's been a few years since I used Vue.js, so it's kind of fun to get back into it and just see what we can do with it. So right now I'm just making the overlays a little bit smaller for the followers and for the events from Blind Valley because it looked a little bit big, so I'm gonna size those down a little bit. And then I'm gonna add in some features to display the latest hand and the flop, turn, and river. Display that on the stream as well, and display who the latest winner was. And then maybe we can have more features as we go. So. So let's go. So yeah, I just edited a Twitch message. This one's comes up with dark background and purple outline, kind of the Twitch purple. And then the event message is the events from the Blind Valley website. And so I'm going to size those down a little bit as well. Just size the text down just a bit, text size down. And maybe we can adjust the margins a little bit. Let's see that. I don't think I adjusted the margins for the Twitch one. And let's see how that looks. Looks fine. We got a bit of too much margin there in between, so there's a top margin I can get rid of or reduce drastically. That looks better. And could probably even tighten that up a bit more. It's a little bit smaller when I see it on the stream, but I think that looks fine. Let's maybe even put this down to 2 and 8 and see what that does. That's fine too, I think. And the text can probably be smaller there as well. So margin top 1, 8 and 2, and 3XL. Two, X padding, margin top, text size should be conform. Let's push that. Smaller pop-ups. It'll deploy, and once that's in, we can refresh it. And so my thoughts are I can maybe have 2 different overlay views, one for when I'm streaming, when I'm actually developing. So that would be kind of be at the bottom of the screen where you see the next showdown overlay. And then we could have another overlay that's more of a big screen, maybe even showing a poker table or showing more info, so that people could continue to play poker when I wasn't even on stream. Just leave the stream open, but I'm not in active stream mode. Or, maybe my camera's down in the corner and we have the game as the main feature. It's kind of inspired by Max Game Dev. He's making a Twitch RPG right now, and follow him and subscribe to him, and he's working really hard. He's a French guy and making a cool game. So that's how he works. He's just a small down in the corner off the mic, and he's just developing his game, and people are playing his game while he makes improvements real time to it. So it's really, really cool, really fun. So yeah, so right now we have the next countdown. Let's look at what our options are. Just 1 second, I'm gonna close the door. So let's look in the database and see what this looks like. So we have there's another feature that you may not have seen, is the lucky hand feature. So if you type lucky hand, it's going to tell you what your specific lucky hand is. And so this is calculated based on a complex formula, and based off of your user ID. So if you run this command multiple times, it should always give you the same hand. And as luck would have it, blind valet is Jack 9 of hearts. What a coincidence. So right now, yeah, we have 2 commands for the chat: lucky hand and deal. I already got if you've already been dealt in, you can't change your cards. You get the same cards as before. And it looks like we're at 36 seconds until the next hand will be dealt. And that's the data that we're going to want to display. So you can see here in chat poker, dealt hands shows blind valet and my cards. So these are all stored in the database. So I can reference those in my overlay. And then the deck is the deck of cards that are left. So we have all the cards that are left in the deck, besides the 5-2 of spades. You can see that those are gone. And now the hand was just dealt. So all kinds of things changed. What happened? I got 2 pair. So 2 pair, what did I do? The flop had a 5 on it. Oh, and there was a pair of 3s on the board as well. So I made a pair with my fives. There was a pair of threes, so I made 2 pair with the ace kicker. Not bad, not a bad hand. So now what we can see here is that in chat poker, no cards have been dealt now because that hand is over, but we now have an entry for last hand. So we see the flop, the river, and the turn, and the winners. There can be multiple winners when the pot is chopped. So you could have a straight flush on the board, and then everybody's going to be tied for top. So we get my cards, we get the final hand. That's the final hand, 5s and 3s with an ace kicker. And the final hand rank, 2 pair. 2 is just a numerical ranking. High card is 0, pair is 1, 2 pair is 2, 3 of a kind is 3, straight is 4, flush is 5, full house is 6, 4 of a kind is 7, straight flush is 8. You know, same routine. So yeah, so that's, and then what the Twitch ID of the winner is, and this, they just got flagged that they were the winner. So if we have more people later in the stream, we can try it out. But right now, the idea is I want to display this information, the last hand information, on the overlay. It looks like I lost my overlay. Why do I not have my overlay anymore? Did I break my overlay? No, it's still there. Just need it refreshed because I pushed a new one to the server. Then we see the smaller little smaller pop-up for the overlay. I think that looks a little bit better. Okay. So yeah, so the idea is we want to look at the stream/chat poker/last hand, display the flop, turn, and river, and then also who the winner is, of course. And what I would like to do is make sure that the final hand highlights which cards are used. So if I used, like in this case, I didn't use the 2 of spades for my hand. I only used the 5 of spades. So I'd want to highlight my 5 of spades and then highlight the ace, pair of 3s, and the 5 of clubs from the board and not highlight the 8 of diamonds. So it'll show which cards I used in my hand. So that's my idea. So just across the bottom of the screen, next showdown. And then as we go across last hand, flat, turn, river, and winner, and the winner's hand, maybe the winner's hand, flop, turn, and river, and then maybe the final hand rank would be good. So let's do that. So where are we? We're on the overlay, and deal timer is the current deal timer is the little timer in the corner that's there. So let's create a new component that's going to display our flop, turn, and river from the database, and the winner. So we basically want to display the last hand. Now, let's see. So this is going to be similar to event message, because the event message one is pulling data from the Blind Valet database. So that's going to be a good starting point if we copy that one and rename this last hand. So this is the now last hand component. So we want to get rid of event message everywhere we find that. Make it last hand. In this case, in this case, we want to do an on value, I think. Anytime the value at that reference changes, we shouldn't need a query. We shouldn't need a start at. We shouldn't need either of these. We should need an off because we want to stop. Off is to stop polling for that information, not polling, but stop listening for that information. Order by child we don't need. So that should be all we needed there. We'll need to change this layout, of course. Now this one will be maybe similar to our deal timer one. And let's see, so we want to have it the same. Why is that rounded? That shouldn't be rounded. Just kind of want that as a block. Let's get rid of the rounded off of that one. Now what we can do is just start by getting the data in there in a very simple format, and then we can always make it more complex as we go. So let's see. Created also audio. Right now we're not going to do any audio stuff. We don't care about the current timestamp. We're going to call this the last hand ref and make it at stream / chat poker, I think we called it, and last hand. Is that right? Stream chat poker last hand, yeah. We don't need a translations ref because everything's in English. Oh yeah, the translations, why do we have the translations ref? That's because the different messages for the blind valet events are stored in the database and are translated in many different languages. So when I get an event, I only get the code for the translation string. I don't get the event. I don't get actually the text, the English text. And so I need to use the translation data for blind valet to get that value. So we do want on value, but for our last hand ref. And let's see, we'll console log out the data. Let's make this this.last hand equals the data value. Log it out to the console just so we can see it. It looks like every time there's a hand dealt. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. When the last hand is displaying, I hide the timer for 10 seconds. That was intentional. So I was confusing myself. So let's get in the next hand. The deal. Ooh, King Jack. King Jack of spades. Nice hand. I like that. Okay, so we don't need this, don't need this, don't need this. So we have this, I think on value gets called, let's see, Firebase real-time database on value. I don't think that's a once. I think it's every time data changes. So make sure that's right. To read the data, listen for value events. Once when the listener is attached, and again, every time the data, including children, changes. Okay, perfect. So every time a new last hand is created, we're gonna get an update, and so we can update our data, and then it'll be displayed in real time. Methods. We don't need any methods, right? This is going to be a pretty simple one. We don't need any methods. And then we just want to take off our listener for the last hand ref. So that's going to be this. So if we're not passing in a specific ref, then this is just going to take it off for all listeners at this endpoint. So that's what we want to do. So let's move this over to the middle right now. I don't know. Just moving it over a bunch. We'll do that more cleanly in a bit. This data, we don't need any of this data, right? What is this data? What we need data, we need last hand. And just make this an empty string, empty object for the moment. Now already in the next 7 minutes, we may have to shorten this time for some testing because might need to shorten the time because for testing, doing it only every 10 minutes might be long, but we can also manually adjust it, which will be good enough. We should get that data and be able to display it. So last hand, let's see. So this is going to move over and we'll see. Right now, let's not worry all about the formatting, and we just want to see if we can get some of the data. So last hand dot, let's look at our data structure. So let's try and look at the first card on the flop. Last hand dot flop 0. So last hand dot flop 0. I think we can do right. No, we can't do that. Can't do that in view. That's disappointing. So let's say if last hand dot flop, because if we have a flop, then we have a hand, and all the other things should be visible. Otherwise, we can always add the conditions. So let's see. Oh yeah, so we made our component, but we haven't included it anyway. So we need to include that on the overlay. So we're going to add in our last hand. And we'll import it. Oops. There we go. And we'll include it. So let's see. And it's crashing. Okay, last hand because we didn't close out our object, our tag. I don't see our last hand. Let's look at the console. This is kind of Inception right now. You have my overlay on the screen, and then we have my overlay on my local host, both looking. Countdown update, I can get those console logs out of here. So we're not getting any data from Is this my, no, that's events. We need to clean up the outputs. We still have some debugging stuff in here. Let's get rid of that. This is my countdown timer. So let's look across the project for console logs and just keep the interesting ones like errors. Don't need this. Don't need this. This is the one we just added. Twitch event received. These are working. And this one we don't need as well. Okay. Why is it always saying Blind Valley is following me? I don't know why that is. Why do I always get a new follower Blind Valley every time? I think I did that as some test at the start, but let's see, what is this? Show message. I think maybe it's the date. I had created one manually, I think. Stream, Twitch events. Yeah, some of these are some manual entries that I created. And it's probably the date is showing after. So if I delete these hacked in events, then we should then it should be cleaned up. And then we'll just have the real events. So now when I refresh this, I should not get Blind Valley followed, right? Okay. And oh yeah, still my translations are still showing. Why are they still showing? I didn't save it here. Okay, so that's cleaned up. Now why isn't my last hand showing? Let's see, let's debug that. So let's do last hand. So it's not getting called at all. Stream, chat poker, last hand. I think that's the right reference, right? And it should get called once when we load it. Stream, chat poker, last hand. I mean, if I modify anything here, it should process an event as well. But we're getting nothing. So something is not happening. Last hand created, that we should definitely see, right? Last hand created, that's coming in. Play failed, that's normal. This error message is saying that that it was trying to play a sound, but it couldn't because I hadn't yet interacted with the screen. In OBS, they have a nice little feature where actually, we have a hand about to count down, so let's see if when we get down to 0, what happens. Nothing in this case because there was no actual hand, right? I don't think I had cards for this one. Or was that, did that just happen, the King Jack hand? Maybe it did. Yeah, I guess it did. So my King Jack of spades. Gave me a pair of kings. Good hand. Top pair. Decent kicker. So let's see. Now this is the next hand. 7-6 offsuit. So that's okay. And now last hand has been updated. But like I said, we still don't have we're not getting any updates. Why is that? On value, last hand ref. I'm not sure. Not sure why it's happening. Let's look at our event message. What are we doing differently there? On value, it's in created, so it's the same place. We have the data structure set. We're importing these from Firebase. We're doing the same thing there. Translations ref on value. These are using a method, but just because they're events that are going to be coming in and going to show the message just for a certain time. The translations is done once at the start, which should be similar. So I don't really see what's missing here. This is getting called, so our component's definitely being loaded. On value, translations ref, data. On value, last hand ref, data. But this never gets called. So it should get called once when we load it, and once every time the data changes. That's what we're expecting. If I edit this field, it should call the on value, and it's not calling it at all. It's probably something very stupid, but right now I don't see it. I don't see what it could be. It's very simple. I'm not sure what's happening here. Be a lot easier if I had an error. I know what the problem is. I think it's a permissions issue. And I'm not getting an error for permissions, but I believe it's a permissions issue. When I mess with permissions, I always do it off stream just because it's so I think I'm gonna give access to the I think I've done the lucky hands I gave access to, but I didn't give access to the entire stream folder, which is what I think I'll just do, because it's all going to be the same rules. It's going to be able to read it, but not to write it. I know I have to do the individuals because I have some indexes as well that I use. So I'm just going to add in the last hand. And we'll make the conditions on this read true and write false. And that's we don't need any indexes because we're just reading a simple object. Last hand. Okay, let's see if that works better. Refresh. Still not getting anything. Read true, write false, stream. No. No. Stream, hold on. It's not last hand, it's chat poker that we need. Chat poker. That's what happened is okay. Now I understand. I changed it, the structure of the data a little bit. Okay, just 1 second. I changed the structure of the data a little bit to add an additional level to regroup some things. And that's what I didn't update the database rules that give you permissions to the data. I didn't update those to reflect that. So let's look again at our endpoint that is stream. And so I had rules for Lucky Hands and Twitch events in the security rules, but chat poker, I had initially had the deltans and the deck were at the stream level, and I put those now underneath chat poker, and so none of this was visible from the Firebase client. So theoretically now it should work. Yay, last hand. So we got our object. We got a flop, river, and we can even see down here in our overlay last hand 4 of hearts. Okay, we are cooking with gas. So let's see. Let's just get the date up there right now, and then we'll worry about what it looks like and a graphical display after. So let's just first get the data that we want to see. So let's go back to our hand, and let's see. So we've got the flop, we want the turn, the river, and we wanted to do some kind of a highlighting on the cards depending on if they were used in the hand or not. So again, if we look at the data, last hand, we have the flop, turn, river, and then we have the winner's cards, should all be displayed. And we have the final hand so that we can highlight these cards amongst the others that we display. So let's do so ideally, well, let's first get the data out there and we can just look at it. What do we want to see? We want to see winner and last hand dot, again, last hand, winners. So let's deal with the case where there's a chop pot later, because there's not going to be, that's not going to be very common. So let's just show the first one. And then cards, no, what is it? Twitch ID? Twitch ID. So that's the winner. And you put his hand in parentheses. So we're going to look at the cards and look at the first card. Oops, let's put this in braces. First card, second card. We'll just put them together. And then board. And so we need flop, actually we can do last flop, last hand flop, join, flop is an array, so we can just do a join like this. And then maybe a space before the turn. Last hand dot turn. Zero, because I think it is an array as well, just so I had consistent way of putting these. So the turn is an array of 1 and river is an array of 1. And then the river. Let's just see what this looks like. So we've got last hand winner, blind valet. I only see one of my cards, and then the board. Okay. We're gonna have to find a kind of a standard way of presenting the cards. Maybe we'll have a pop-up when the hand actually finishes and then just leave this information at the bottom. It's obviously too big right now as well. So let's change the text size. And we're gonna have to move it over a bit. Why don't we see the second card? Winner 0, cards 1. Oh, because I just overwrote it, I didn't copy it, of course. So let's do plus 1. Thank you, GitHub Copilot. So now we got our 2 cards in the board. I guess the board, we don't need the word board. Make this a bit bigger. Let's see. And I don't think we really need the spaces between the flop and the turn and river. And maybe we just say last winner. Or just winner. Let's just put winner. And let's put that maybe onto the right side. Fixed bottom. Right, 0. And then we can probably go back up to the bigger text that we had. And we're gonna have to get rid of this Blind Valet logo, unfortunately, because it's messing with our overlay. Doesn't have it there, doesn't have it there, does have it there, but it should be high enough. Okay. Okay, so now let's one thing we're not showing is what the rank of the hand is. So let's shorten up some things. How about for the deal timer, we say instead of next showdown in, we say next showdown, or next hand. So that gives us more space. And then we want to put in the last hand rank as well into the last hand view. We get dealt into this next hand. Anybody that wants to play along, just put exclamation point deal to get dealt some cards. Let's see if anybody. Oh, I got Jack 9. It's not Jack 9 of hearts, but it's Jack 9. We still call that Blind Valet. So let's see. What do we say? We wanted to say last hand dot winners 0 that's final hand. What is it? Winners final hand rank. Okay. Okay, let's see what that looks like. Oh, rank and name. Okay, that's pretty good. Maybe put the Twitch ID in Twitch purple. And then for the cards, what we could do is maybe put in white the cards that were used and leave in orange the cards that weren't. And if the cards were used, then we can show maybe also red for the hearts and diamonds, and maybe leaving in the black will not show up well in this case, so maybe let's see. I'll tell you what, let's push this to production just to start seeing it on the real screen as well, which might be nicer. Last hand display, let's just keep updating as we go. So there we go. How's that? Cannot read properties. Oh yeah, when last hand shouldn't disappear. Why did that happen? I just want to make sure it doesn't overlap on my screen. I think it's going to be. I'm going to have plenty of room on my when I'm in the format for my overlay on the stream. Let's see if that deploys. Lucky hand. So what did I do with my Jack 9? Made 2 pair 9s and 3s. Okay. Ooh, Doyle Brunson. 10 deuce. So last hand display has been updated, so I need to just refresh my overlay here. Okay, so that shows up in the bottom right. There's plenty of space to display whatever we want. So let's call it last winner. Last winner. And then, like I said, we want to format the colors of these cards. So let's create another little mini component. And this is probably something ChatGPT or Copilot would probably be good for. Create a mini component for displaying a card text string. A mini component for formatting text string with span. I'm just going to use Copilot embedded in VS Code. And let's see. We can highlight this so it knows what we're doing. Would like to format each card flop, turn, river, and winners cards to show in white if they are, if the text string of cards is found in the array last hand dot winners dot final hand. Let's see what it tells us there. I don't know if we need another separate component for it. We'll see what a vbind directive. Okay, something I don't really know about. Hey, Durf is back. Let's see what his lucky hand is. Oh, ace 10. That's a nice hand. That's a lucky hand. Bravo. And now type deal to get dealt into the next hand. See if you can beat my Doyle Brunson. 10 deuce. So your lucky hand is just something that's very specific to you. That's is a hand that is based on your ID, so it'll never change. If you do lucky hand again, you'll get the same. Deal is a new game I'm working on right now, where if you do exclamation point deal, then it'll deal you 2 cards, and every 10 minutes there's a new hand. So if we can see who wins. So so I already got dealt in 10 deuce, and if you do exclamation point deal, then you'll get dealt in as well. So let's see. So yeah, this is what was recommended by ChatGPT to change my template. This is kind of what my I wanted to avoid, is to repeating the same I guess they're doing the flop, it's doing it all in one. The cards, it's doing it all in one because it's doing a for loop. It's not too bad, but it's a little bit of repetition. But let's go ahead and do that. This template we could use. So I'm going to highlight that and then replace this code here. And text white, I don't need to add this because I already have that in my I already have that. So Durf, you got king 8 against my 10 deuce. At least I got 2 live cards. You've got a better hand, but I've got a chance. We'll find out in 3 minutes if who the winner is. And as always, if you have any questions about Blind Valet, poker, how to do stuff in the app, anything like that, let me know. I'll be happy to answer. So let's see. Actually, I should have edited. I don't think I edited my stream description. I think it's still just the basic stream descriptions. Let's do that. Let's see on my stream manager. Play poker in chat. Play poker in chat. Deal for the deal to get cards. New hand every 10 minutes. Okay. Okay, so this is I'm working on the formatting of this. Now you can see this looks a little different than what you see on your screen. Hold on, let me push that up a little bit. So here I'm trying to highlight, this is the flop, turn, and river of the last hand. Oui, c'est vrai que vous m'avez envoyé un mail. Je vous ai répondu ou non? Attends. Parce que je sais que je pense que j'ai répondu que je vais répondre, mais est-ce que j'ai répondu? Est-ce que je vous ai répondu? Ah, j'ai pas répondu après. Excusez-moi. Duck. Si. Ah, ok. Pardon. Non, mais je me souviens, vous étiez en stream avec moi, c'était cool. Ah, tu m'as battu. 2 pairs, queens and eights with the king kicker. I couldn't find any. Oh, wait, I had. Wait a second. Shouldn't I have made the? Oh no, my ten played, but I didn't hit the flop, turn the river. Ah, insolence! You come on my stream and you beat me at cards. Oh, I got an ace this time. For the next hand, I got an ace. We'll see if you can beat that. Ah, poubelle. Garbage hand. So, yeah, so what I'm working on right now is, ouch. So what I'm working right now is changing the display a little bit in the overlay so that shows which cards are used in the hand. So it's a little easier to read, I think. Also, the black on black, well, at least for me, my chat is a dark mode, so I can't see it too well. So here, this looks a little cleaner. You can see that the last hand, you had the king eight. Both of those. No, that should not have shown this one. Oh yeah. So your hand was pair of queens, pair of eights with a king kicker. So those were the five cards that played, and the nine of hearts and the six of hearts were not used. So that's maybe a little bit easier to read than when you have all seven cards. And then I think I want to put this in the Twitch purple as well. So I think I made a color for that. So let's put this in a span as well. The Twitch ID. A span is just an HTML tag that doesn't change the layout. It just changes. It just kind of borders. Well, it can change the layout, but it's not really an object in the DOM. It's just something that's gonna let you adjust some of the display parameters. So we'll make this text, and I think I made a custom color Twitch. Let's make sure that's right, but I think it is. And so after the Twitch ID, oops, what did I do? What the heck did I do? Oh, this is not needed. Okay. Let me check my colors. I'm not sure I got that custom color right. No. Let's see. What did I do? It's just purple. I didn't do a custom Twitch color. I thought I had made a specific Twitch color, but I guess not. It's just using a basic purple. So let's go back to the last hand and just make this purple. Yeah, so I think that looks good. So last winner, their cards, the flop, turn, and river. We can probably space those out as well so that we can really see that it's see the breakout of the flop, turn, and river, so it's clear where it is. So here's the flop, these three cards. Let's put a dash. Then the turn, flop, dash, It's doing these as a single one, which I don't want. So let's see. Winner's final card includes card. So let's do it like that. And then duplicate this for the river. The dash isn't great. NBSP is a non-breaking space, so it's just to force a space into the code. Sometimes HTML will just eliminate spaces. So is there one space or two spaces there? It's two spaces, right? If I just take it out, is there still a space? No, I don't think so. That's what I hate about that. It's because it's on a new line, it's going to add an additional space because there's something else there. So we need to do that. I don't know. Yeah, that's just one space. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. Let's see. And maybe we could even fade out the cards that are not used. This is white if it includes the cards, otherwise we could say just recommend the same thing, no? Gray, let's see, orange. Maybe just a gray if they're not being used. And if this does not include that, then we can get a gray. Yeah, I think that looks nicer. So then it'll really pop the two pair. And those other cards will be a bit dimmer. So let's add that to the others. This is why I wanted to make a subcomponent. That's as soon as you start copying and pasting, you know you should be probably doing it differently. Okay, it looks pretty good. I don't think we need the spaces between the parentheses. Oh, il a gagné avec la poubelle. C'est pas vrai. So you're 6'3", outflopped me. Oh, you dirty dog. I can't win against this guy. Next hand. King 7. Not bad. Better than average. I'll shove that heads up. Not poubelle. Let's see if I can hold this time. What do you think? You think it's fun, the little chat game? You think it should go quicker than 10 minutes? I think 10 minutes is too long. Maybe we could shorten it up, but I want to give other people time to get in. Cool. I love it. Great. Yeah, it's fun. So I'm gonna. My idea is to have this as something that I can play on stream, and maybe even 10 minutes is okay. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's we don't want it to be too often either. So we're having that flooding, but yeah. So my idea is to maybe even have this a game that people can play when I'm not even here. So I could just leave my stream open, have instead of having it show my desktop, having it show a full screen of the game with highlighting the people who are in, what their hands are, the countdown in really big, and then they could even play when I'm not here. There's a guy, there's a Twitch channel that I'm following. I've had this crash a couple times when it hasn't been up. I'm not sure what this is. Cannot read properties undefined, reading 0. I think this is maybe just a bug when I was editing, but now it's fine. Oh yeah, so I'm missing, the river doesn't have the gray formatting, so I need to update that. And I want to refactor this so I'm not copying and pasting the same thing over and over. It's bad coding practice to do that. So that looks good. You can see your 3 of clubs that hit the 3 of hearts to pair up with the kings on the board. Okay, 2 pair. This was fun. I coded the whole code to figure out what a hand of cards is. When you have 7 cards, what the best 5 card hand is not an easy process. It was kind of a fun process to go through to determine that. It's in a different code base that does that. But that was pretty fun, determining if it's a straight flush. How do you calculate that? Because I made one function to determine if there was a straight, one function to determine if there was a flush. But if you have a straight and a flush, you don't necessarily have a straight flush, because you could have the straight with using a offsuit cards, and so you have to check if you have a straight with just your flush cards. So it's interesting. It was an interesting challenge to code that up. So I'm just having fun with this, and today's kind of a fun coding day, unless somebody reports a bug, and then I'll try and fix it right away. But this looks nice. I'm gonna push this onto the server, and we can try it out on the stream right now. Oh, so yeah, so I was saying there was this guy I'm following on Twitch that, where is that? Let me see. Young French guy that I suggest you check out his channel, Max Game Dev. He's got, he's using the Unreal Engine to do a 3D game. And you can join, enter a character using chat commands, and then it's a collective game that they play together. So, and he just leaves it running. So he leaves it running 24 hours a day, and people can play this game while he's not there. So if I type start, then it'll add a blind valet player to the game, and he'll participate in the mission. So he's only been working on it a few weeks, but it's already pretty cool. And you can see they've got what 13 people participating in the mission. So that's kind of I had already had this idea for the poker game, but the idea of making a view like this where they could play by themselves is kind of interesting. So maybe I'll do that in a future version. Yeah, so I could have basically what I was thinking is that this overlay here that I'm working on, I could have one view for when now this time is off. I'm not sure what happened there. It's not 10 minutes to go. Something is bugging because it should not be 9 minutes and 30 seconds. It should always show the time until the next hand. Not sure what just happened here. Yeah, I still have the king 7, but my overlay is off. It should be showing like 4 minutes, right? Because it's always on the hour. Let me see this. I think I introduced a bug somewhere. Let's go back to this is my earlier one, so I didn't deploy this yet. No, I didn't commit this yet, so it shouldn't. I'm not sure why it's saying next hand 921. It should not. That countdown is wrong. Which I'm not sure I understand why. Because this should be checking the time until the next 10 minutes. The next 10 minutes. 00. So right now it's cancel cycle tweet 1558. So when it's 1600, it should be the next hand. So the timer is broken. And that was working before us. I'm not sure why it's working now. Not sure why it's broken now. So let's look at that. Countdown value. Interval. It calls the update countdown. Update countdown. Get next cron time. So this should be getting called every second, right? Oops. Let's do a little console log here just to see what it's calculating. Now I'm getting it's still counting down yeah, it's showing 9 minutes, which is wrong. And then it crashes. Cannot read properties undefined of undefined reading 0. Let's see. Blind Valley wins. Haha, finally. Finally vanquished Durf. Oh, but nice hand. Queen 9 of diamonds. That's a pretty looking hand. Let me see what I can get. Oh. The hammer. The hammer. 7 deuce. You could be in trouble. You could be in trouble with that. You guys played the 7 deuce game in your game? If somebody wins the hand with 7 deuce, everybody has to pay him something? We usually play that when we're playing a cash game. When we're playing cash games, if somebody wins with 7 deuce, everybody has to pay him a big blind. Doesn't really work with tournaments, but it's fun for cash games. Okay, let me see what this error is coming from. So it looks like sometimes when it's loading the components, last hand is null, and so it's trying to display things, which is forcing this to crash. Let's fix that error first, and then we'll go back to the timer to figure out why the timer was not working correctly. Now it looks like it's displaying correctly. Next hand in 8 minutes, that looks right. Still is not. Let me fix this bug first, and then we'll get to that. There may be could be something related to timer where when it's crashing, then it's not updating correctly. Let's see. Where was I? Oh yeah. So let's see. Let's make this if last hand flop. Let's first last hand. Make sure the last hand exists, and this last hand flop, and last hand winners, and last hand dot winners dot length. Dot length just means that there is at least one item in the array of winners. So there's at least one winner. We still haven't handled the chop pot situation. I don't know. I'm feeling good about my 7 deuce this next hand. I think you're in trouble with your queen 9. Let's see if that works. And it seems like that could have been the problem, the bug, because when a new hand is dealt, we delete the other last hand, and we replace it. So there may be a split second where there's no last hand, and then it was trying to display the winner, and it wasn't available. So. It might be nice also to have a better description of what the hand is. Right now it just says pair. It might be nice to say pair of 7s, aces over 5s, something more, just a better description. We could look at that in the future, but right now pair is good. Maybe one pair might be better than just pair. But let's see if that might have been the problem with the clock as well, because it was crashing the process and might not be doing updates after that. So let's see. Just take out that console log in the deal timer. That's what I wanted to do. Where was that? Printing that. Oh, here it is. Could just undo my changes to that. Okay, so let's format text colors for cards and board and Twitch ID. Commit that change, sync it, deploy that, sorry. So that's pushing to production. And let's see, what else? Now we could, what else? Now if that works, I think at some point it might be fun also to be able to do something like deal 100 and I'm not sure why it says 100 when I do that, but to do deal 100 and to wager channel points. Right now I don't have channel points yet on my channel because I'm a newbie, but oh, this is a bug actually. This is a bug in my deal function. It's taking in if I put a parameter. So what if I say Doyle? Cards. Whoops! What did I do? Can we do Negreanu? Let's deal in Daniel. What the heck? That's a feature I didn't even know I made. Whoops. Let's look at why that's happening. So let's look at Nightbot. So I'm passing this to my cloud function. And that must be getting passed in as the Twitch ID somehow. Not sure how Nightbot works, but I wouldn't think that would get passed in. Let's look at, I don't know if I have login on that or not. Let's look at that. Get the screen back in order here a little bit. So this is a function called deal random hand that deals out the cards. That's funny. That's funny. We just got extra players, and maybe that's a feature. I mean, I don't know, but that's what developers like to say is when there's a bug, they say, no, it's a feature. It's a feature. So what if I say deal something with a space in it? Deal Phil Ivey. Phil, oh, by first name basis. Okay. So yeah, let me look at the production, and look at the stream to see how these things are saved. Chat poker, dealt hands, and we've got all of these in there. So we're gonna see who's gonna win out of all these people, but it's being stored as their IDs. I guess this is great for testing different hands and the testing for chops and different things. So here's the big showdown. Number 100 wins, whoever that is. That was my first bug. Let's see. Blind Valet made a pair. Durf, high card. So my 7 deuce did beat your queen 9. I just got to fix this bug where we get random, you can enter names of people in. So let's look at this function. And this might be just a way, because I'm using Nightbot to pass the commands into my Cloud function. But so we need to open up a new window. Rigged. I have not rigged the 7 deuce. The one thing I did rig is this. I'll tell you what. The lucky hand for blind valet is absolutely rigged, but the other things are not. I have not rigged it for myself in the poker game yet. We'll see if I get desperate at some time. So I'm going to look at the Cloud function that's bugging here. Oof, I'm dominated. King 5 against 5-3. That's going to be rough. That's going to be rough. So let's see. Where were we? Twitch, this file. And deal random hand. Let's see when the data comes in. Deal random hand. Twitch ID. Yeah, so let's just look at what the data is that's coming in as. It's supposed to be the Twitch ID that's coming in as, because it looks like that's getting extra data coming in. Which might just be a problem with the way I configured the Nightbot command. So let's save this. Let's deploy this Cloud function. Firebase log out. I think I need to log back in. Yes. Log in here. And then Firebase deploy only functions deal random hand. So we're just going to redeploy this function now that I put the little redeploy it to the cloud. Now that I put this little tracking in there, and we'll see if we can see some more data from that. So it's still deploying. Otherwise, let's see. So I'm doing a URL fetch, and I'm passing in the TL user. Let me see what the see if we can find that in their documentation. I know the variable just prints the first argument given to a command. That's not what we want. Players are going crazy in Valence, France. Oh yeah, I think we did. We should have our new. There we go. Our new display for our hand. That looks nice, doesn't it? I like that. And our timer looks all right as well. The timer hasn't gotten broken, so that's good. So I guess this is, if no argument after command, the result would be knight. So how do we get the variables list? The user. Okay, so it's just user, it's not TO user. Okay. So my command is wrong. That's the problem. It was working because yeah, it was working because if there's no command, then it passes in the ID. So it was like a default setting. So we just need to change this. Make this just user, and make this just user. Save this. And now, if I do deal, I don't know if that's instantaneous when it changes, but so if I just do deal, it should show me my current cards, 5-3. If I do deal Negreanu, it's still me. So that's working now. So we can't just add in random players. Maybe I could make it so that I can, only Blind Valet can if I want to do some features, do some special features. But so what I was trying to say before that was I was thinking that once I have channel points, to be able to bet channel points would be kind of fun. To do something like deal 1,000 and you're gonna wager 1,000 that you have the best hand of the group, and could be something where if other people do 1,000, then you wager 1,000 against them. Otherwise, it's just they're only at 100. It's kind of like an all-in. You can only lose as much as you put in the pot. I don't know, something like that for channel points would be really fun, but I'm not even sure if that's possible with the rules Twitch has on distributing channel points and so forth. But we'll see. We'll see when we get there. Right now, like I said, channel points aren't enabled for my stream, so my channel, so we won't do that. But I think that looks great. I think that looks great the way it looks. Now, what's next? So we have that. There's another thing I've been working on is if I go to my channel, I've added an extension. You won't see this yet on yours, I don't believe, because it has to be approved. So it's a piece of code that you put in that is then shows up as one of the panels on your site and is dynamic. So and right now it only works with if it's already open when the commands come in. But if I do a lucky hand right now, it'll show up the latest lucky hands, and everyone that does that, their lucky hand will show up in the list, the 5 or 6 latest ones to be done. So that I'm still waiting on approval from Twitch. It's been like 4 days, so I'm not sure when that's going to come through. There's also a type of extension for doing a full screen overlay. That would be kind of like the overlay I'm building right now, but it's hosted by Twitch instead of being hosted by me. And I believe with that you can also get in it's a chop pot. So this is and now if you want to say the fix is in again, it's rigged because the last winner shows as Blind Valet because I was the first one. I was the first one in the list. So that's what we need to work on, is the chop pot. So you can see that I had a 5. let's see if, first of all, is it correct that we chopped? Durf, you had king 5. I had 5-3. And my hand is 5, pair of 9s, and an ace kicker. 2 pair 9s and 5s with an ace kicker. And your king doesn't play, sadly enough. So it looks right, yeah. So how do we display that? Displaying all the cards and everything would be complicated. We can show at least the first 2. If there's more than 2, maybe not all the players. We could show let's see, yeah. Chop pot, blind valet, Durf, and then show the final hand of one of the players to show what the hand is. So let's do that. I'm gonna mute the mic for a second and have a little snack because I'm hungry. And ace 5 of hearts, that's a nice one. Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. I can make a straight flush with this hand. Actually, we both could make a straight flush. I haven't tested my straight flush function yet. So let's see. Yeah, one thing I wanted to do is I wanted to try and do a break this break down the card display so that the cards display like this, and I don't have to copy and paste the code from one to another. So I want to make this more generic. So let's do another component. And I don't know if I don't know with Vue if there's a CLI to generate a component from the command line. But let's just ask AI to create it. So generate a simple component that takes a cards array as a parameter and displays them in a span as we do here. So this is a GitHub Copilot, which is basically ChatGPT 4 integrated directly into via Visual Studio Code. And so when I highlight text here, this is taken into account with when it reads my prompt. So it reads my prompt, looks at the file and the card and the text that I highlighted, and then does that, and then answers me. So not sure why it says winner's final hands. Oh yeah, winner. I do it. Yeah, that is correct though. Winner's final hand. So we need the winner's final hand and the card itself. Oh, that's true. Okay, I forgot about that. So I didn't even tell it to take the winner's final hand as one of the props, but it figured out that it needed it. So let's do that. Let's create this new component. We'll call this final cards. And go back to the chat and we'll insert this. It's called a card display. I don't really like that name. Let's call it final cards. And we'll get rid of this because we don't need this. Yes, that's good. And then what we can do is just go back to our last hand. Here, and we'll import let's use it here. So we're going to use final cards. And let's see what I suggest, and we'll see if we agree. So cards is the last hand, the winner's cards. Yes. Winner's final hand is the winner's final hand. That looks good. And so we can get rid of this. So that's between our parentheses. Let's, I think we said we wanted to tighten that up as well, to not have a space. Now, let's see, we'll do another one. Oops. So we'll do another one, final cards. Excuse me, final cards. And let's see, flop in the final hand, that's good. And then, and we want to put one space in between those. Actually, I don't know if it'll put a space by itself or not. Let's see. And so then another final cards, the turn. Very good. And another final cards, the river. Very good. Coding is so easy now. And so we can get rid of all this now. Now, why did I go through and do all this if it's already working? Because now, if I want to change the colors for any of these, for these cards, the way they're displayed, if I want to make it a lighter gray, if I want to change the color scheme to a lighter theme instead of a darker theme, anything like that, all I need to do is change it in one place. So now I can go to my final cards component that I just created. I change these colors here and it changes it everywhere. Another chop pot. Look at this. I wish I would have done that functionality next. So what is it? Oh, that's right. 8, 9, 10, Jack, Queen on the board. Straight on the board. We're both playing the board. The 5 deuce survives. Well, it looks like we've got some interesting situations. So It looks like right now the hand calculations are working pretty well. So I tried to test them all, but yeah. So straight, both of us made the straight. So um, what I should do, I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. Since this is a chop pot and we want to test that, I'm gonna save this last hand so that I can use it again. So I'm just gonna take this whole object, the flop, turn, river, the winners, and I'm gonna export it. And then whenever I want, when I'm doing my testing, I can import it again and see if it works. So. Ooh, another ace. Ah, I'm getting good cards. Getting good cards. 2 aces in a row. That's pretty good. Okay, so chop pot. That's the next thing. Let's now we have this working. No, it's not working. I said now that I have this working, even though it's not at all working, my thing. Could be fun to have to wait a few seconds between flop, turn, and yeah. Yeah, that's true. I've thought about that. I've thought about that, and we could do that. I think. The thing is that when I display the flop, it happens in a cloud function, and I'm not sure how that would do it. That's a great idea. It's a great idea to add that because everything just comes out at once, and you see who the winner is, and at some point we could even have animations where we have the actual showing the cards, the backs of the cards, and then showing them turning over. Have the last one peel the card. There could be some fun stuff to do like that. That's a good idea. Let me see. The only question is, do I show? Because if I show the flop, turn, and river in the chat, that one is going to be returned immediately. Maybe I could not show it in the chat and then just show it on the overlay. Might be a solution. And then maybe the overlay could send a chat message afterwards, something like that. Yeah, I think we could do that. Let me fix this bug I have first, and then we'll start thinking about that. We'll fix this bug, and we'll do the chop pot so that displays correctly, and then we'll think about how we could do a slower deal. Maybe even do the flop. Say which player is in the lead. Which player is in the lead. Actually, what would be really cool is to do the percentages like they do on television streams. Do the percentages pre-flop, then do the flop, then do the turn. Change do the flop, do the percentages, do the turn, do the percentages, and do the river and do the percentages. Now that I don't know how to calculate the percentages yet, but we could figure that out. I don't know if there's a API that does that already. I don't think so, but that could be cool. That's kind of what's fun is seeing, okay, even here, we could see we could see that in the chat. You could already see that what percentage chance maybe you have to win at different points. That could be fun. I think we're onto something here. I'm not making any progress on Blind Valet itself today, but it's fun. It's fun coding this. So let's see why our little component's not working. Let's see. We imported this into last hand. I think I need to import the component somewhere, don't I? Yeah, that's probably just that, is I didn't import the component. Which I'm surprised it doesn't give me an error for that. I didn't import the final cards component. And so then I need that also. Like I said, I'm a bit new to Vue, so I have to put components like that. I have a big customer in Yokohama, Japan. I'm not sure who it is, but they use the app a lot. Every Friday when I stream, they're always on, so that's cool. So here we need to add components, add final cards, and hopefully that fixes it. There we go. Okay. So we can see that last hand was playing the board. And we don't have a space between the flop, turn, and river. So I want to change that. So here's the cards. Let's put, there's a space between those. Pretty sure this is going to give me the problem of having two spaces again. Yeah, which is annoying. It's kind of ugly, makes the code ugly, but you have to do that to get what you want. Okay. Okay, so that is refactored. So let's commit that. So I just do occasional code commits. So we when stuff is working, I'll commit it. So refactored. Oh, this is not the right one. Sorry. Refactored last hand to use a card display sub component. Push that to production. And now let's look at the chop pot. So this this one we want to display if there's only a single winner. So what we can do, instead of saying just that there's that there are some winners, let's say that the winner's length is equal to 1. So this whole display that we just did is going to be only when there's only a single winner. And then we'll make a new one. Okay, what just happened? We just had a flop. Durf wins with a straight. Oh man, you made a straight. Oh yeah, let me check the overlay. Oh, flopped straight. Very nice. Flopped the straight. Had me in trouble the whole way. I river to ace. You might have got me to spend some money on that hand. you think you would have checked that flop? Would you have checked that flop to keep me in? Okay, I'll bet you 100 fake points on this hand. The 100 doesn't do anything. It's ignored by the command, but just a joke. Oh, this is a yours is suited. Yours is suited, but I have a higher card, but I don't think that's gonna make a bigger deal. I think I'd rather have your hand. I wonder what the percentages on those two are. Not sure. Not even sure which one's a favorite, to be honest. So let's duplicate this and then make the modifications for the case of a chop pot. So chop pot. That's a little excitement, exclamation point for last winner. 55% for me. Okay. Okay. I guess the high card, the 6 plays often enough to make it having the higher card worth it. And I guess I guess if we both make a pair, then it's more chance that I win, I suppose. So, but it's pretty close. Because I have 2 flush draws. You only have 1. The classic. So for this is going to be chop again. It's possible. It's very possible. I got to code. I've got 7 minutes to code this chop functionality. Let's see. So this one, if it's going to be a chop, it's going to be the winner's length. The array of all the winners is going to be more than 1, meaning there's more than 1 winner of the hand. Chopped pot. And so let's say we'll do 1 Twitch ID for the first winner. We know there's going to be a second winner if there's more than 1. Why is this giving me an error here? What did I do? Oh, I deleted that. So we'll do this number 1. And then let's do another one. And we'll do a if last hand dot winners dot length is greater than 2, because it could be the case where we have flop a straight, or the board has a straight on it. There could be 6 different people sharing that, chopping the pot. So we can say last hand winner's length greater than 2. Here we put a comma. And then we'll just put comma dot dot dot, just to show that there's more than 2 people chopping the pot. Okay, and then instead of doing passing in the winner's cards, in this case, their cards, we're going to pass in the winner's final hand. Right? Is that what it is? Make sure it's the right item. Winner's 0, final hand. And we'll just display that hand. Because if the hand is a tie, I mean, there is theoretically some chops that they won't have a similar hand. it won't be the exact final hand, but I think it's close enough. You know, it's gonna be a queen high straight or a queen high flush. It may not be the exact one that they all share, but it's gonna be close enough, I think. So we pass in the final hand. Actually, I had exactly what I needed there. And we pass in the final hand, and they should all be white, and they should show up. And that's all we'll need, actually, thanks to our little component that we just created there. Made that really easy. And there we go. Now, what I'm going to do is going to go to last hand, and I'm going to import the chop pat that I just exported earlier. Let's see, where did I export that? So it's going to change what the last hand is. And here it's still showing last winner of the stream because that's the old version. But here it should be showing chop pot, which it is. 2 players, blind valet Durf with the queen high straight. I still have 3 minutes to get this to production. Until we chop our 6-6 tray against 4 deuce. Let's do chop pot. Just in time. Of course, we're not going to chop. Of course, we're not going to chop in this case. So that's coded. Now, let's see if it gets into production in time before in the next 2 minutes. It should. Deploys. It's building. Pretty quick building with Vue. My Blind Valet app takes a long time to build. My production deploys take a while. It's a big app and older code base, so it's slower to build as well. So this is pretty snappy. So let me refresh the. There we go, chop pot in production. Okay, let me just see how that looks. Looks on stream. Just making sure it's not getting cut off there. Yeah, it looks good. The old mirror, the mirror tunnel of mirrors or something. Okay, so that's nice. We haven't seen it if it's a multiple chop pot. And I could do that. I could fake something here. I have 55 seconds to fake the data. But let's see. If I go to winner 0, export that. And then go to winners 2. Import that. Race the clock before a new hand comes in. If I'm going to do it in time. Just to have 3 players that chop the pot. And here we go. You can see it. There's 3 dots. Probably the comma, don't need the comma. Probably just the 3 dots would be okay. And we could probably show more than just 2 people, I guess. There's plenty of room right now. Maybe show X more to show how many more people. No, I told you I was feeling good about that 4 deuce hand. Look at you getting 2 pair with that garbage hand. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Nice hand, nice hand. Nice hand. Yeah, queen 6. Not great. I fold. Ooh, that's a nice hand. I like that hand. It's offsuit, but it's pretty nice. Latvia. We got the players playing a tournament in Latvia. That's cool. Okay, so let's see. What did we say? We wanted to get rid of the comma for the chop after the second player. Chop pot. So this comma we don't really need. And then let's do okay. Yeah, if you have 4 deuce, just go all in. Just go all in. Bangkok, Thailand. We got Latvia, Thailand, Japan, France, Belgium. Very cool. So here I want to do to tell how many more players chopped. So let's do this is going to be the number of players. We know it's more than 2 because that met this condition. So we're going to do the number of players, winner's length, minus 2 should give us the number of players extra. And then we'll put more. So this should say, in the case where there's 3 players, it should say 1 more. If there's 4 players, it should say 2 more, and so forth. So let me test that. Again, I'm going to hack in my data to display a chop pot. Sorry, take a screenshot, Durf, if you want to if you want to remember your 4 deuce. No, I think it crashed something. What happened? Oh, I imported the wrong thing. Which crashed my... I imported just 1 player instead of the whole last hand. There we go. Let me refresh that overlay because it crashed, so the timer's off. It seems like once the timer gets off, though, it somehow doesn't get back. I'm not sure why that is. Am I still getting errors with this one? Chop pot, 2 players. I don't seem to be getting any errors. But the time is off. The time is broken again. Not sure what this bug is where the clock gets off. I don't understand why. Because when I refresh this, it should reset to the amount of time between the next time we're at a 0 minute. So 10, 20, 30, 40. It shouldn't be 10 minutes from the last time there was a new hand updated. So I'm not sure why that's off. And it just reset again. Just reset back to 10 minutes, I think. And it's a bug that's in production right now, so it's not something I just changed. I don't know what that is. Let's just test what we're going to test. So there's the chop pot display. And we want to test it when there's more than 2 winners. So let's go to winner number 2, import a player. And so this should now show us plus 1 more. Chop pot, blind valley derf, 1 more. If I import another one, we should see 2 more. If I did this right, which I think I did. And plus 2 more. Okay. I think that's good for when we have, because theoretically, now this is story time. Why was Texas Hold'em invented? Do you know? Do you know why Texas Hold'em variant of poker was invented? It's a game that was invented so many people can play with with one deck of cards. Imagine the 14 cowboys sitting around a fire during a cattle drive, going across the United States, Western United States, with for 2 weeks driving cattle. When back in the day, decks of cards were rare, and so maybe there was one deck of cards in the whole group, and so they needed a game where a lot of people could play at the same time. And so if you think about it, 2 cards each, a flop, a turn, and a river. You have 5 cards on the board, 2 cards each. That means you can have 23 people play in a single hand of Texas Hold'em. So theoretically, with my game here, we could have in chat 23 people playing against each other. So that's why Texas Hold'em was invented. Now I don't know if it really is that old that it was really cowboys on the trail that were doing that, but sounds good to me. That's the story, at least. So our chop is working. Let's make that update. Chop for more than 2 players. So now the question is, can we do a slow flop turn and river? Nice, we have a new player. First hand dealt. Oh, that's bad luck. First hand dealt 7 deuce offsuit. Sure, Derf, you're right. 22 players if you burn cards, but you don't need to burn cards. Burn cards is only for Oh, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream, Nomad. First hand, he gets hit the hammer, 7 deuce, and he makes a straight with it. Bravo. Turns a straight. Look at that. Very cool. That's awesome. What a way to join the stream. What a way to join the stream. Next hand, deal yourself into the next hand. See if you stay as lucky. Yeah, you can also do lucky hand to find out what your lucky hand is. Lucky hand will give you a specific lucky hand that's specific to you. Ooh, better hand. Ace four of clubs. Your lucky hand never changes. That's just what your lucky hand is. But your deal gives you cards for this hand that we're playing. Oh, man, he is lucky. He's got a pocket pair for his hand. Trays. Pocket trays. Very nice. Okay, so where were we? So we just built this on the stream. We just built the overlay that shows the last winner, showing that Nomad came in and dropped the hammer on us. His first hand on stream, made it straight. These are, by the way, there's no. These are pure random draws. I mean, as random as a standard random number generator can get without a software random number generator. But there's nothing trying to make more dramatic hands or having more full houses or bigger hands. It's just standard poker hands. So what do you win? You win a zillion blind valet points. We don't have anything to win yet. We're thinking of doing something with channel points in the future, but I'm a new streamer, so I don't have any channel points available. You can't subscribe to me yet. You can follow, which would be appreciated if you followed, but I can't do channel points yet. So, but I'm starting to think about that. I have a lot of ideas for this little functionality to have maybe a high hand on leaderboard to see what the high hand was so far on the stream. Actually, that might be something to build. Thanks for the follow, Nomad. Really appreciate it. Very cool. Thank you. One of the requirements for becoming a Twitch, what do they call it? Twitch partner or a Twitch affiliate or whatever they call it, is to have 50 followers, and I'm at like 29 or something. I've only been doing this for a few weeks, but ideally, I'd want to do something with channel points or betting channel points. Have a high hand ranking, maybe for the high hand for the high hand for the day. Show up on the overlay as well. Ranking of top players during the month. Things like that could be fun. So. I'm just learning about the Twitch API right now, how it works, building an overlay and so forth. So, are you a poker player, Nomad? Did you know Blind Valet, or you just found us on Twitch? That'd be awesome, Durf, if you could get us some more followers. It would help the stream out. But I'm probably gonna do some alternating. My next stream, I'll probably work on Blind Valet more, work on the website, but this is kind of fun as well. Cool. Nomad says, yes, I run tournaments using Blind Valet. Very cool. So So let's see. So now we could do a few things. We could do a high hand functionality to start recording the high hand for the day. We could do, what else? We could do the slow flop, turn, and river, which Durf recommended. I'm just wondering if, because when I calculate the hands, find out who won and everything, I do that in a cloud function, and then and those have a timer on them. I think they can run up to like 9 minutes. So I don't think I'll hit a timeout by spacing out the flop, turn, and river. Let's try it. What's the work we could do? We just break everything. So let's look at that. This would be the not the deal random hand, but it's the showdown function. I'm not displaying this well. Just a second. So this is the showdown function where it reads in all the dealt hands, reads in the deck, because also you don't have the same, no one has the same cards because the deck is maintained throughout. If there's less than 5 cards in the deck, we abort because something went wrong. Because normally when we deal cards, we don't deal it out if it's full. If we go back up to our deal random cards, let's see, deal random hand. At some point we read the deck in here as well. We read in the deck. Yeah, if there's less than 7 cards in the deck, then we don't deal the next person in. We say, sorry, not enough cards. Because we need to have enough cards for the flop, turn, and river. So if we get to the showdown and there's not 5 cards, something's gone wrong. So then we draw the flop, 3 cards, draw the turn, draw the river. You can see it's just a random choice of card throughout the deck. And let's see, then we it updates the deck. I don't even know if I need to do this really, but okay. Here's where we set the flop, turn, and river, and they're displayed on screen. And then here's where I connect to the Twitch client and I say the flop, turn, and river in the chat. Then I sort the hands by rank because I list the hands from, I think I list the hands from worst to best. Yeah, so the worst hand will show up first in the list and then go down to the best hand. So that's why I sort them. What do I do next? Then so that's where I sort them. Oh yeah, and also it determines here, at some point I determine if they're the winner of the hand. And oh yeah, the last one or the first one in the list is the winner. And then I check to see if it's a chop pot or not, because we had the case a while ago of the chop pot. Oh, my turn to get a straight. 98765. Very nice. I know you're gonna say the fix is in, the fix is in. But no, I hit my thing. I hit my cards. I should probably also change the colors so the diamonds show up. That's one thing I didn't make the diamonds red in the on screen. That's another thing I should do. Not sure about the. Can't really make them black because it won't show up well, but. So anyway, so here's why I determine if it's a chop pot or not. Basically, if the cards have the same hand rank as the winner, then it's a chop. You had a flush, ace clubs. Let me see that. Did you have a flush? It's possible. Ace four of clubs, and the board had 2 clubs only. The board only had 2 clubs, 6 of clubs and the 5 of clubs, and had a 9 of spades. No flush for you. Right? Flop. The flop had 1 club, turn was a club, and the river was a spade. That's okay. I mean, it's possible. I just coded that a few days ago, this whole code to figure out what the hands are. I didn't use somebody else's, I didn't use existing code. I coded it myself to evaluate the hands, what they were, and so forth. Ooh, monster, ace queen. So far, monster hands haven't done well so far, but nobody's gotten a big pair yet. Haven't seen many pairs at all, actually. Ah, 10-9's a nice little hand. Plays well on the flop. So let's see, back to my code. So here's the with the winner message. If there's only one winner, then it says they win. If it's otherwise, it says chops the pot. Next showdown 10 minutes and so forth. So the question is, let's try breaking this out and see if we can do it step by step for the flop turn river. So this I'm not that sure I'm going to. I didn't save my last changes. What did I do? Oh yeah, this I can undo. So I'm gonna open a separate branch to work on. Because this may be code I don't save. We'll see how this works. I'm not sure if it's gonna, I might have timeouts with my cloud function, or if I do some weights in there, it may not be accepted. I don't know. So let's open up a separate branch. Git checkout. It should be, what are we going to call this? Let's call it drama, because we're going to try and create some drama on the flop, turn, and river. So, we can draw them all, the cards first, as we've done. It's just a question of when we update the last hand. So let's see. First of all, let me just see if we can even put a delay in. Wait 2 seconds before evaluating hands. Because it's possible that Firebase that I use or Google Cloud Functions don't allow this. I'm going to see if it works. No. So Firebase deploy. What's going on here? Oh, typo. Firebase deploy. So I'm gonna deploy this updated function and see if it gives me an error or not. Okay, that's deploying. So this could be looked upon badly, but we'll see if it works. If it works, then we could probably do this. We just have to be careful about getting timeouts. So. And so if we do this, basically what we'd want to do is set only the flop, wait, then set the turn, wait, then set the river. Same thing, we'd want to coordinate that also with the chat, so they come out at the same time. Now we'd have to coordinate this also with our overlay, because right now our overlay only displays when there's winners. So we need to display the cards as they come out as well. So let's do a new one. I'll copy this. Osaka, Japan. I was there in September, October. I went to Japan to see my son who was over there. Two minutes to the next showdown. Now you got some Durf, you're in trouble. The 10-5, 10-5 against Ace Queen and 10-9. I'd fold if I were you, Durf. That's rough. So let's do this. If we have the flop, I'm confident. I love your confidence. C'est bien d'être confiant, mais faut pas miser trop gros. So if the flop is out and no winners, if the flop is out and there's no winners, that's probably what it would be. So we could use this one for showing all of them. By the way, do you guys hear the little sounds, the little beeps when the pop-ups come up on screen? I'm not sure if that sound comes through to the stream or not. That little beep, that da-da-da. Do you hear that? Okay. I guess you don't. I guess I only hear it on my PC. I'm not sure how I configure that to come through. Because I was thinking it'd be cool to have some sound effects when the flop comes out. You know, some card sounds when they're flipping. Would be kind of cool. To see how the the 10-9 gets me second straight. And how many hands have you played? You've already hit 2 straights against us. Man. Seven, 8, 9, 10 jack. Nice hand. Nice hand. Let me see if there's configurations in 2 out of 3. Yeah. Says control audio via OBS. Overlay audio is turned on. Huh. Not sure why it's not coming through. Okay. Take care, Nomad. Thanks for the follow again. Oof. Let's see. You did pretty good with four deuce of spades. Let's see how I do with 4 tray. I'd much rather play a hand of poker with your hand than mine. I'll have to check out how to get the audio coming through on the overlay. I'm not sure why that doesn't come through. But yeah, I thought it'd be fun to have some card sounds when the flop comes out, when the turn comes out, when the river comes out. When it deals somebody cards, those types of things would be kind of fun. So anyway, this is the display for it did deploy with my delay in there, my function, so it didn't give me any errors. So maybe we'll be able to do this drama flop turn river. So let's see. So if the last hand is there, if there's a flop and if there's no winners, then we're just going to display a term. Here, let's say we're going to display if last hand flop and not last hand turn, then display flop. Otherwise, last hand turn and not river, we say turn. And if the last hand is river is out, then we say river. So we can just say river here. We don't need this. So when just the flop has come out, we'll say flop, then we'll say turn, then we'll say river. And here, this will be, we're not showing the cards or the Twitch ID. Here we'll just pass in an empty array because there's no winner's hand. The flop, if we get here, that means there was a flop, so we can just display the flop. Here, we display the turn and the same thing. So these are always going to be orange because there's no winning hand. And if we want to do it white, there's a way to do that as well, but I don't think necessarily. And then river, this notation is wacky too. These are already arrays. We don't need to do this. We can just do it like this. Not sure why I had that before. Flop turn river. And again, an empty array here. So this is what it checks against. And then no rank name. So this will be just displaying the flop turn and river as long as there's no winner yet. Okay. So we can try that by just by just hacking the data. I always like to hack the data. So here, for example, if I delete the winners altogether, the overlay on screen should go away. That's correct. And here, since we have 5 cards out, they're all showing river, and they're all grayed out, which is not great. So we want those white. So what we'll do, instead of just doing an empty array here, we'll do we'll put the flop in as the winning hand. We'll put the flop in as the winning hand, so it'll of course find its own entries in here. And then we'll put the turner as the winning hand and the river as the winning hand, and we should be good. Denmark. Blinds are going up in Denmark. So let's see how that displays. Yeah, so this is white. So we're on the river with the 8. Let's look at the, try and make it say turn now. So if we delete the river, we should be on the turn. Turn, jack of spades. And now if we delete the turn, we should be on the flop. And there we go, flop. And we don't know who's winning yet, but you guys all know your own cards, so you can say, oh, I just flopped this, I just flopped that. Also, let's make the hearts and diamonds red. Would be a bit nicer. Maybe we could do that in the final cards components. So we want them gray if they're want them gray if they're not a winning hand, that's for sure. If we wanted white or red, actually we only want the we're gonna have to break this into the two cards. And we're gonna print card 0 here is gonna put the first character, which will be king or 10 or something like that, 9. And then card 1 here. And here, for this one, we'll do red 500. I know, does this, no. This, so if the final hand includes this card, that's right. And we're going to say also, and card 1 is this, is a heart, or card is a diamond. Why is it giving me an error here? Missing white space between attributes. What? The hand just came through. My 7 hit a pair. Nice. High card, ace versus a pair. I got you again, Durf. Shouldn't play against the man at his own channel. It's risky. Oh, pocket pair against Jack 10. Classic flip. Yeah. I'm not sure why I'm getting this error here. Why is this error happening? Doesn't make sense. Anyways, I'm doing something wrong anyways. Let's go back to white. So we still want it white if it's the first card. We still want it white if it's a spade. So we want it red if only if it's a diamond or hold on. Yeah, that's right. Okay, no problem, Durf. Yeah, it's been fun playing the cards with you. Hopefully next stream you'll have your dramatic flop turn and river. Oh yeah, green for clubs, blue for diamonds. That's a great idea, actually. Yeah, that's a great idea. The 4-color deck. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, because then the blue will show up good against the background. Another great idea. Thank you. So red if that's... No, we want it to be if it's included and card 1 is a heart. Now, why is this giving me an error? It needs to be single quotes. Yeah. What do you think your pair is going to come through? Pair of threes, pair of black threes. I don't know. I like Jack 10. Jack 10 makes a lot of straights. Let's see. Quads for sure. You know what? I was testing this, like the third hand I dealt when I was doing the testing, I made quads, quad queens. Haven't come close since, but so if it's a heart or if it's a diamond. No, what do we say? If it's a heart, we'll make it red. If it's a spade, we'll make it blue. No, if we make a spade, we make it green. No, it's... What is it? Green for clubs, blue for diamonds. Oh, yeah, spades are black, right? So we can leave the spade white, I guess. Yeah, so blue. If it's a diamond. There we go. And this will be our white, actually. I'll just take this one out. And then the green. Let's see how that works. 4-color deck. Although, what the heck? Something's broken. No, that's not right. No. What did I do wrong here? It's not the winner's card. What is happening? Oh, it's printing first the. Oh, this is weird. It's printing first all the numbers and then all the cards. Oh, I see. I see what's happening. Okay. It's because I'm looping through all the cards that were dealt in both of my spans. So I'm looping through here and then looping through here. So that makes sense. So what we want to do is do a here. We do this. We do this. Let me put this underneath. So here we do a single loop, and then within that loop we do our first card, which will be white or gray, and our second card, which will be red, blue, white, green, or gray. And that should look better. I'm still getting still getting some strays out here. Oh, I still have this V4 in there, that's why. Okay. There we go. 4-color deck. Hearts. Grayed out when they're not being used. Spades, clubs. Very nice. Just before I'll test, oops, it's off screen. I'll test without the winners before your quads hit. Yeah, it looks nice. I would still rather maybe find a different way to represent the spade than white, but maybe change the background for this, make it a felt green or something. I don't know, but that looks good. I like that. Okay, 3 seconds. 2, 1. Quads. Oh, wait, did you see that? There was a second where it came up for 2 seconds before it went through. So the delay is working. So we're on our way. But sorry, your pair of threes didn't come through. Oh, you got counterfeited. kings and sixes with a jack kicker. Ouch. It's the worst way to lose with a pocket pair. But thanks for the help, Durf. You had some good ideas. It's looking better. It's looking really good. I'm gonna continue adding the delays, and I think then I'll call it a stream. So I am broke now. I have to sit out. Ok, merci Durf. À bientôt. À la prochaine. Okay, so that's really cool. Four color deck. I like it. It looks great. Should probably just make both cards the same color. Should we just do that? Probably, because on a 4-color deck, the letter is going to be the same color as the... So let's just do card. And then get rid of this one. And we still, the condition is still on the suit of the card. Yeah, I think that's better. That really sets the cards apart as well. I think that's pretty good. I mean, the other option is to put a white background and use black, but I think this looks good. Yeah, I think this looks good. Okay, let's push this one to production. 4-color deck. What else did I change in this one? Is that it? Oh yeah, 4-color deck and flop turn river display. Okay, so back to the slow rollout of the flop turn river. So we're going to need to put our connection to the client ahead. This is the connection to the chat client. We want to move that up above because we're going to be using this multiple times. And so now we just want to set, in this one, we want to set just the flop. But we also want to clear out the old one. So we want to do two things. We want to do we want to remove the last hand. Then we want to set the flop. Then we're going to wait, let's say 5 seconds. We also want to announce the flop at the same time before the wait. Let's get rid of that. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing. Do the same thing for the turn. So we'll not remove that. We don't want to copy that one. And this we want to do a wait. Okay, so we do that. That's the flop. Then we do turn. And we'll do turn. Don't need a join on the turn, of course. There's only one card. Actually, we do need a join because it's actually we can just do turn 0. It's an array, so they can all be treated the same. We made those arrays as well. Then we wait 5 seconds. And then we'll do the same thing for the river. It's going to be simpler. Doesn't need that. Wait 5 more seconds. Actually, we don't need to wait 5 more seconds. We can just wait a couple seconds and then we'll announce the hands. So we already did this. Get rid of this. Make sure I'm dealt into the next hand. That's going to happen in 2 minutes and 30 seconds. I need to update my messages as well to tell people to get dealt in. So then we're going to go through our regular process of figuring out which hands won, giving the announcements, setting the winners, determine if it's a chop pot, and telling people to the next showdown is in 10 minutes. Maybe we can wait for 2 seconds before that as well. Let's see how that works. Okay, let's try this. Let's push this out. See if it crashes anything. Okay. So, did we push our overlay to production? I think we did, but we haven't refreshed it yet. So let's refresh that in OBS. There, we've got our colored cards. Very nice. Seats were drawn in Stockholm, Sweden. Love Stockholm. City on the water. In the water. Okay, so our function is deploying. Don't think it's going to make it in time for the next end of the next hand, but this one gets called every 10 minutes. It's going to be close. I don't think it's going to make it. Oh, it's really close. I don't know if it's good. I think it's done. Is it going to do the new one or not? Let's see. Flop. Turn broke. Why does it not display it anymore? River broke. My overlay crashed. It kind of worked. It kind of worked. And I won because I'm the only player, but Why did it break my overlay? What's happened? Let's see. Because it broke here too, I think. I don't think I... Invalid prop. Expected array got undefined. Oh, for final cards. Okay, let's go back to... no, it's not here. Let's see. Last hand. Ah, okay. So the problem is here I don't have an if condition, so it's trying to do the turn, but the turn doesn't exist yet. So we need to say this should only display if the turn is available, and this should only display if the river is available. Fix turn river bug. Push that out. Oops. Now, the next thing would be kind of cool to say flop and then say who's leading. This player's leading with a pair of aces. Turn. Oh, this player's winning with a straight. River. Oh, he rivered a flush. That would be really cool. That we could maybe do. But it's pretty good so far. Let's see if it's deployed yet. Deploys. It has, so let's refresh here. And I don't know why at one point it crashes and the clock gets off and doesn't get back on until the next hand. I don't really know why. It just sometimes gets screwed up like that. I have to figure out that bug as well. Why is it showing 9 minutes when it's actually only 7 minutes or 6 minutes something? I don't know. It should be reset, but it's not reset. Yeah, when I'm getting some bugs when it's playing sounds as well, but that doesn't seem to be crashing anything. But once it crashes, it doesn't reset. I don't understand. And it happens on production end, and so it's something in my code for sure, because it's happening on both of them. But you would think refreshing that would clear the problem, but it doesn't. And it's repeatedly crashing right now. So something I broke. I definitely broke something. What if What if I just delete everything? Start clean from the data. Now say deal. Should get a new cards. Shouldn't be the Jack 5 anymore. My clock's still off. That's not actually, the clock is off, but the next hand should still trigger at 6 p.m. my time. Should trigger on the hour. Let's look at the code. So I did get Queen 4. Did get my new hand dealt. Let's see why that's not working there. Let's see if their AI friend can help us. Sometimes the countdown timer should be to even 10 minutes times, but sometimes it gets offset and doesn't fix until next cycle. If you want to play poker, you can put deal command in the chat and you'll get a hand of cards dealt to you. Si tu veux jouer au poker dans le chat, tu peux mettre point d'exclamation deal, D-E-A-L, et ça te donne une main de cartes. 2 cartes, et après, dans 2 minutes, on va voir le flop, turn and river pour voir qui gagne. Afterwards, we'll see flop, turn, and rivers to see who wins. Let's see. Get minutes, get seconds. I don't think this is right either. So let's see. Get minutes. I wonder if it's just the last one of the hour that gets screwed up. Flop, turn, river, and the deal. Okay, so we just added in the delays so that we see the flop first, a few seconds, then the turn, then the river, and then see who the winner is. So makes it a little bit more dramatic. Next hand in 10 minutes. I need to fix this bug before the next hand. So I think it's get minutes. I bet it's the last 10 minutes of the, it doesn't work. This is supposed to count down to the next cron time on even 10 minutes. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. But doesn't seem to work between 50 minutes and end of hour. When the current minutes are between 50 and 59, we'll return 0, and then that would be a negative number. This version, minutes plus 1, is used to, instead of minutes, to ensure that ceiling rounds up to the next 10-minute mark, even when the current minutes are exactly on a 10-minute mark. Let's see. I'm a bit skeptical of this. Minutes plus 1. Let's see, if minutes is 52, what is this going to give us? Let's say minutes is 52. 53 divided by 10. That's going to be 5.3 times 10 is 53. Rounded up is going to be 60. Divided by 60 is going to be 1. Next cron minute. No, percent 60 would be 0. No, it'd be 1. Let's try it and see. Edit timer. If I'm off by 1 minute, it's not going to help me. So we'll see. Now, why is it not displaying a hand? There's the last hand. Why is it not displaying? That's another problem. What the heck? What the heck is going on? Okay. Why is my last hand not displaying now? This one is if last hand, no winners. This is if winners, the flop, the winners, and the length. Those are all the case. Chat poker, last hand. Oh, there's no flop. What the heck? Okay, I should say. I know what's going on. Okay. Okay, so here we set the value to the flop, and now here we set it to the turn, so we delete the flop. Here we set it to river, we delete the turn. So instead we need to do child turn, and then we set it to instead of the object turn, we just set it to the turn. And then here, instead of we do child river, and then we just set it to river. Right. And then the rest should be okay. Because here we're updating the winners directly. Okay. That's the bug. Should be fixed before the next flop. I'm starving. I'm starving. Someone needs to bring me a snack. Who's going to bring me a snack? My wife's at work. My son's downstairs. He could do it, theoretically. But he might if I ask, but no. Just going to wrap this up as soon as this test is successful. Hopefully it's successful. So we're pushing our cloud function to the server. Once that's deployed, we can test it. And so the idea now is that on the screen, you'll see first the flop, then the turn, then the river, and then see who the winner is. So a little bit of drama. But right now, there's only one person with a hand, and that's me. So I was going to do a feature where I can add in extra players, which I should do. It's in place. Okay. So just for testing, it might be nice for me to be able to add in to do something like a deal. We had a bug earlier where it was actually working, but add in fill and have it add fill to the hand and have so we can have multiple players. But I fixed the bug, so now I can't do it. But it was kind of practical for testing purposes, so maybe we'll go back to it. So let's see. Our function is deployed. So in 10 seconds, we should see if this works. Oh, I need to refresh this. I think it's refreshed. Okay, so we should be good. Ah, what did I do? Flop. Turn. River. And who wins? Well, I win, of course. I'm the only player, but three of a kind. Trip sevens. Nice. Very nice. Nice way to finish the stream on some trips. Okay, I think I'm gonna stop there. So we today we added in this feature to see the cards on the screen and leave up the last winner, the last person to win. We changed some of the formatting. We show now in colors. The two grayed out cards are not used in the 5-card hand. So 777 is our three of a kind, the Jack and King kicker. That was thanks to Durf, who put in a recommendation for the to use the 4-color deck as well. And we do the ranking. What else did we do? We made it come out Durf's recommendation to make it come out flop, then a bit of a delay, then the turn, then the river. So that's pretty cool. We fixed the countdown bug, I think. Looks like well, we don't know until we're not gonna know until it's after 50 minutes, but it looks correct. So when this gets down to there, we should be at 2. The countdown looks correct. So yeah, it's pretty fun. And so we played some cards. We played some cards in chat, and we had someone come in. Nomad came in. First hand he was dealt when he first tried it, we got 7 deuce. Worst hand in poker, and he made a straight on the turn. So that's poker for you. That's poker. So yeah, so my countdown looks like it's right. I can't really check until it's 50 seconds to go if it's still working. But yeah, so I don't really have it set up now to have it run on a big screen by itself and leave the stream open. But that's kind of the plan down the road, is to make it a self-playable stream. Again, there's a young French developer that's doing. Well, at least he looks young to me. I'm an old dog, trying to learn new tricks. But called Max Game Dev, who's doing an interactive Twitch game as well. His is much more complicated than mine. His is 3D using Unreal Engine, and it's an RPG style game. I don't even know if I'm allowed to raid people. Can I raid people? I'm barely approved to be on Twitch, so I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can raid people yet. Let me see my creator dashboard. I don't think I can. I don't think they allow me to. I'm not a grown up yet. I've only got like 28 followers, so they don't let those type of people raid people. No, I don't think I'm allowed. Let's see. Can I add in raid channel? Let me see. If I add this, does it work? I can do this, can I? I'm gonna raid Max Game Dev. I don't. What, I have 1 viewer? It's the thought that counts, right? But it's really cool. You should check out this channel. And you can just type exclamation point start in the chat, and you'll be able to add a person to the group and fight some monsters in their RPG game. It's really fun. They've only been working on it a few weeks, but it's already pretty amazing. So check them out. They're working super hard. So with that, I'm gonna raid them. I think it works. Ready to raid in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. Raid now.